Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host, Nathan P. Butler. This time we circle back and look at something fairly quickly that we've looked at a little bit before, and that is club packaging or anti-theft packaging. You may recall that as we looked at in the past, there was a while there in which if you wanted to purchase a DVD of, say, Revenge of the Sith, or the original trilogy sets from 2004, and you bought them at somewhere like a Costco, like a Sam's Club, one of these sort of big club stores, oftentimes you would see them in unusual, expansive packaging that is specifically designed to basically prevent theft. So you're not just sticking the DVD in your jacket and walking out. Instead, it's something that's so large that you'd have to rip it out of the packaging to have any chance of actually walking out with it illegitimately. We looked at a couple examples of this, both of which were very specific to their product. We looked at the widescreen version of Phantom Menace, and how basically what you had was the widescreen DVD copy from 2005 from the US, with just a little sticker here that says widescreen, but it was in a package specifically designed to look like Mustafar, has Star Wars 3 down there at the bottom, has The Saga is Complete up there at the top. And we looked at this in a manner of detail previously as this anti-theft packaging. And we also looked at both the full screen and widescreen versions of the 2004 original trilogy DVD set in a similar style of packaging. We'll use the full screen example here, but again, we've seen this before. Costco pricing up there at the top. It's just that product given a themed cardboard package to prevent theft, but a themed package specific to that product, Star Wars trilogy, right? For the first time on DVD, etc., etc. You know what you're getting, not just by seeing what's in the little hole, but by the box around it. Well, that led to some questions of, okay, well, how long were they doing this? And are there any other versions of that? And we want to be able to answer that question to some degree in this episode. We're going to look at these fairly quickly because these are products that I basically specifically bought just to be able to show you on the show and to include with pictures in the next edition of A Saga on Home Video. I'm not all that hot and bothered about getting all these anti-theft variants of the releases, but I did want to have at least a couple in my collection to be able to use for example purposes. First, let's take a look at one of the individual films. Again, this is Revenge of the Sith. It has packaging specifically designed around Revenge of the Sith. Well, there were also these for The Phantom Menace, presumably for Attack of the Clones in between, but in this case I want to show you an alternate version. This is The Phantom Menace, in that same type of packaging, but notice they went generic on it, right? It's just generic 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, not specific to Phantom Menace. DVD symbol up at the top, Phantom Menace widescreen release from 2001, stuck inside here. That white area says product protected by anti-theft device. 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, giant logo there. Nothing on the side, nothing on the other side, nothing on the bottom. The top is just a little place with a couple cardboard pieces to keep it in, and then the actual DVD inside it. And then the back is effectively the same thing. Okay, so extremely generic, but what's inside, again, and this one I actually opened up because it was a little bit, the plastic on it was already damaged. Inside is just the regular retail release that they were selling at the time. It's only the cardboard packaging that's different, only in this case, generic rather than film specific. They also did generic packaging for those trilogy sets. So the same trilogy set we just looked at, full screen 2004 with that nice black packaging with Vader at the bottom that really kind of turned the box into an extension of the look of the product, also had this equivalent out there. Again, it's just the same product, DVD at the top, protected or product protected by anti-theft device, only with no white box to put that phrase in, so it's a little bit cooler looking. 20th Century Fox Home Entertainment, nothing on either side. The top, just a couple cardboard pieces with the product showing through. The bottom, nothing there. And the back, just a repeat, essentially, of what we got on the other side. The biggest difference being that this one doesn't have a hole in the back to show the back of the packaging, just a hole in the front. And there's your UPC that would be scanned. So if you're out there looking for this club packaging stuff, if this kind of variant is something you're into, which again for me it really isn't, then not only are you going to be looking for the ones that actually are specific to the product, you're also going to be out there looking for these generic versions of the same thing, which by and large all these different types are pretty hard to come by, still closed. I would also note here, for those who raised the question, well, wait a second, I see a full screen and widescreen version that you showed us before of the original trilogy from 2004, but what about Revenge of the Sith? You showed us a widescreen version. Was there a full screen? Well, yes. Yes, there was. And that was this. But again, it's the exact same packaging. It is the exact same cardboard. The only difference is that the full screen version has a little sticker here that says full screen. It has a light, in this case gray background with full screen in black, rather than the other one that had the black background and a white or very, very light gray widescreen on it. So lots and lots of variants out there if you really want to hunt them down, but understand it's basically just the cardboard around it for this protection. But I did want to make sure it was clear here on the show that you do have full screen and widescreen oftentimes in pairs, and you also have in sort of pairs the specific to the film packaging and the generic with nothing specific to the film type of packaging out there, both of which were used basically just to keep people from stealing the movies. That's right, lots more packaging variants to collect, all because some people are douchebags and tried stealing DVDs back in the day. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.